everyone, and welcome back to Starbird Productions here in our channel. Today we will follow our friend Tanya as she returns to her home country of Ukraine after escaping the war where Russia attacked her homeland. In the last episode, we watched Tanya take the train on a stressful trip to Poland at a dangerous time of the war. In this episode, we will meet up with Tanya as she boards the old Soviet train in Lviv that travels to her hometown of Kharkiv. Nothing is easy in that time of war, but you will see that Tanya is very happy to be returning to her home. Let us join Tanya now and see just what she experienced on her trip home. So, here we go, guys!
Hi, I'm Tanya, and for me Ukraine begins in my hometown Kharkiv, the second major city located just 40 kilometers from the Russian border. Here were Ukrainians who speak Russian, a fact that anyone who says otherwise is not being truthful. I arrived in Kharkiv to visit my mom, who, like many older people, refused to move from her home despite the circumstances. She lives in a typical Soviet-era block of flats on the top floor, which now serves as an observation point, offering a clear perspective on the ongoing war. Sometimes the sky is clear and beautiful, and sometimes it's not. In this video, I want to show you, friends, how we made it to Kharkiv on an infamous Soviet sleeper train, which is 40 years old and is still in operation in Ukraine. For just 10 USD, it crosses the whole country from east to west, offering a memorable, if not always comfortable experience. So join me for a train adventure and some fascinating insights into our railway system. My seat is number 13, a lucky number. Phew. And security is incredible. This is for upper bed, so you don't fall down. See? It's good. You feel very safe, but I'm down. In a Soviet third-class carriage known as Platskart, you'll find 9 sections with 3 bunk beds each, 2 on one side of the aisle and 1 on the other. With a total of 54 passengers, it's a communal experience where personal space is a bit of a luxury. In this open space layout, you'll constantly test your dignity, as someone's feet inevitably end up near your face, leading to awkward apologies between you and the food's owner. If you're feeling creative, you can even upgrade your seat using the bed linens included with your ticket price. I'd be surprised if there is a single person in Ukraine who hasn't traveled in a Soviet Platskart at least once in their life. So this is how the toilet looks like. Actually, the faucet is quite nice. Wow, a little bit old-fashioned. So, for you train geeks out there, let me give you some specifications. This carriage was built in the 1980s in the Soviet Union at the Tver Carriage Works. This factory, located in the city of Tver, was one of the major manufacturers of railway carriages for the entire Soviet Union. The most mass-produced were the second-class coupe with independent compartments and the third-class Platskart with open space, like the one I am in. Platzkarts were cheaper to build and maintain, and they fostered a sense of community and equality perfectly in line with socialist principles. So for 10 USD, I got beddings to make my bed, pillow, mattress and linens. There is no air conditioning, just ventilation grills in the ceiling, which means in summer you'll enjoy a blast of hot air straight from the roof. There are no sockets, so charging your devices is a no-go, but in case of an emergency, you can ask your carriage attendant to charge your stuff in their compartment. They're usually friendly and happy to help. Well, friends, it's a tradition to drink tea on Ukrainian trains. You can buy a cuppa from your carriage attendant. It always comes in this very distinct metal holder. One cup is roughly 40 cents. So, cheers! So, why is it so cheap to ride the rails here? It's not just the vintage vibes of our carriages. All passenger transportation in Ukraine is subsidized by the government to keep it affordable. Ukrzaliznytsia, a railway company, makes most of its money from cargo. Freight services are the cash cows and help subsidize the less profitable passenger services. By the way, we can still see Belarusian mineral freight rolling through Ukrainian railways. Nothing personal, just business. It took me 25 hours to ride 1,000 kilometers. Pretty slow, right? Well, firstly, this train route is designed to make numerous stops, up to 40, to pick up passengers from small towns. So yeah, we're stopping all the time and can't hit high speeds between stations, which aren't very high to begin with. Plus, the train hops between electrified and non-electrified sections, which means we need to change locomotives. That takes around 20 minutes each time. Talking about locomotives, let me introduce you to a couple of legendary relics that stand out here in Ukraine. Number 1 is the Chme 3, a diesel-electric loco. The Ch stands for Czechoslovakia and it was made by Skoda. These locos were mass exported to the USSR from 1963 until the Soviet Union's end in 1991. Super robust, they stole the show in 2012 when Ukraine bought shiny new Hyundai trains. There were so many hopes for those Hyundais, but they got stuck in the cold during their very first winter. It was quite a scene when the old Skoda had to come to the rescue and push the brand new train. Absolute legend.
Запускай!
Number 2 is the VL series of locos manufactured in Soviet Russia. VL stands for none other than Vladimir Lenin, and these locos have been around for decades. Here you can see how Vladimir Lenin was pulling a train with Macron, Scholz and the Italian Prime Minister 2 years ago. Check out those VIP carriages. A little bit better than my Platzkart. The loco pulling that VIP delegation was a VL-10 manufactured in 1974 before Macron was even born. With a top speed of 100 km per hour, I'm sure they had plenty of time to enjoy the journey. But back to my trip, we were heading to Kharkiv, moving along at about 60 km per hour as night started to fall. Nights in communal carriages can be a bit rough. You're usually stuck with either a snorer or someone coughing like they've got tuberculosis. I ended up with a snorer. Despite the crowded space, I've never had anything stolen on Ukrainian trains. The crime rate is pretty low and theft on trains is more of a rarity here. Ukrainians are generally simple, honest folks, and the railway staff work hard to keep these old trains running and ensure safety. Unfortunately, around 60 to 70% of the trains are quite worn out, so that's something the government really needs to address. All in all, I survived and made it to Kharkiv safely. Thanks for watching this video, friends, and take care.
Hey Starbright fans everywhere, today I want to talk about something incredibly important. The role of the United States and its allies in Ukraine's fight against Russia. This isn't just a war on the ground, it's a battle for the values that define our global community: freedom, democracy, and sovereignty. First off, let's get real about the situation. Ukraine is standing up to a superpower, defending its right to exist as an independent nation. The resolve of Ukrainian people is awe-inspiring, but they can't do it alone. The support from the US and allies isn't just about sending weapons or financial aid, it's about standing up for the principle that no country should be allowed to bully another into submission. Now let's consider the bigger picture. If the world turns a blind eye, it sets a dangerous precedent. It tells aggressors everywhere that they can trample over borders and rights without consequence. By supporting Ukraine, the US and its allies are sending a clear message: aggression will not be tolerated. But there's more. Helping Ukraine also fortifies the international order. It strengthens alliances, ensures regional stability, and promotes peace. When countries come together to uphold international law, they create a safer, more predictable world for everyone. And let's talk about the human side. Millions of Ukrainians have been displaced, families torn apart, lives lost. This is a humanitarian crisis that demands our compassion and action. By providing aid, we are not just supporting a nation, but also showing solidarity with millions of people whose lives have been turned upside down. You might wonder, why should this matter to someone thousands of miles away? Because in our interconnected world, what happens in one part affects us all. Supporting Ukraine isn't just about geopolitics, it's about affirming the values of humanity, dignity, and peace. So let's not stay silent. Let's urge our leaders to take bold steps to provide the support Ukraine needs. Because when we stand with them, we stand for a world where justice prevails and where nations can live free from fear. Thanks for watching, Starbright fans, and remember, every voice counts.
Thank you so much everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed again our relevant adventure for today. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss our next and more relevant videos. Once again, this is Megan Gallego with Starbright Productions. Bye bye for now.